Hello class, me and Miss Covarrubias here for you. We are going to finish talking about and naming acids. So first off, we're going to start with binary acids. Remember, binary acids are going to be what, Miss Covarrubias?
Binary acids have no oxygen.
No oxygen, correct. And then the oxyacids are going to have oxygen. Make sure you know the difference here. So then when we're naming, when we go through these rules, you can decide if it's binary or an oxyacid. So the first rule with binary acids, adding a hydro to the beginning of the name. So when you're looking at binary acids, they will always have hydro, and then we'll finish up with the name. The second rule.
So most of our binary stuff, since there's no polyatomic ions, no oxygen, they're going to be ending in "ide". So our sulfide, nitride, all of those negative anions that have an IDE ending are going to change to an ic acid. Okay, so here's some examples of these. So as you can tell right off the bat, these are going to be binary acids because none of them have any oxygens in them. So right off the bat, our first thing, since there's no oxygen, we're going to write out hydro. And then it'll be chlor, and instead of writing the IDE, we're going to put ic acid. So the name of this guy is hydrochloric acid, and that's using hydro in front and then our ic acid ending. Okay?
Next one, let's try this one. So we have, obviously it's only binary, so we're going to have hydro, and then we're going to use the periodic table, and we know that's fluorine, so it's going to be fluor, and then ic acid.
Yep. And then this one, this is just sulfur by itself. So, whoops, I forgot the O there. This one is going to be hydro, and then sulfur, and instead of "ide", we're going to put ic acid. And then same with the last one.
Yep, hydro. That's just nitrogen, so nitric acid. Okay, so those are pretty easy. Pretty easy.
Right? So if you see no polyatomic ion or no oxygen, hydroic acid. And then we still have the root word
from the periodic table.
Okay? Now, oxyacids have oxygen, so that's typically a polyatomic ion. So if you guys don't know your polyatomic ions by now, you really should learn them.
You're going to struggle.
Yes, because all of the oxyacids depend on their name. And then we change their name to become an acid, so it's quite confusing if you don't know these yet. So our first rule here is that there's no hydro. And this is the basic way that we're able to tell if it is an oxyacid or a binary acid from its name. So if it's hydro, you know it's binary. If there's no hydro, you know it's oxyacid, if we're looking at the name.
Yes.
The two types of polyatomic endings are ate and ite, which we have learned already. If it's an ITE ending, it always is going to be changed to ose. And if it is an ATE ending, it's going to be changed to ic. And Mrs. Oswald, a teacher that was here last year, she taught me a nice little trick. Something I ate was icky, so ic. And us, we're ite.
Us, we're ite.
Us, we're ite. That's what she's...
Oh, ite? Okay, got it.
You know, like, you have to say it cool. Okay. Yeah. Obviously, we're really cool. Yeah, about that. Okay, we're going to do some examples, because we know we're not that cool. Okay, so let's go ahead and try some of these oxyacid examples. So, perchlorate. So, first of all, we have to decide, we know perchlorate, so we have to write that. So it's ClO4. Okay, and now, in order for it to be an acid, what do I have to have on the front?
A hydrogen.
A hydrogen. Now, this is the part that kind of reminds you of ionic bonding. How many hydrogens do I need?
That's a good question. What's the charge of chlorate?
Well, since I know chlorate is a -1 charge,
So then we only need one hydrogen.
One hydrogen. So it's going to be HClO4.
Okay. So how would we name that acid then?
Well, if we were going to go backwards, we'd see there's a polyatomic ion, so we wouldn't put hydro in front. And then we would know that, so it's going to be per chlor, and then since something I ate was
Icky.
ick acid. So this is perchloric acid.
Good.
Okay, let's do the next one. Hopefully I didn't write over it. Whew, close.
So we have dichromate. So what is dichromate?
Dichromate. Whoops. I have to turn on my pen.
Sorry.
Dichromate. So we have
Cr2O7.
Okay, and so what's its charge? So we're going to have one H. And so since it's an ATE ending, we're going to put dichromic acid. All right, let's see if there's a harder one next.
Ooh, that is hard.
Nitrite.
So we got the ITE ending. First of all, let's just start off with that polyatomic ion. So nitrite is going to be NO2. And what's the charge of that? It's going to be -1. So
-1.
hydrogens, we just have one. Okay, so the acid part of it, we had to change that ITE to something different instead of ick. So ite.
No hydro.
No hydro. So it's just going to be nitri-R. Yep. O-U-S.
So nitrous
acid. And then us-ite. That sounds so weird. Okay.
Us-ite. Okay.
I should make a rap.
All right, next one. Chlorite. So another ITE ending. So we know chlorite is ClO2. This was hypochlorite. Now don't get hypo mixed up with hydro.
Yep, there's a P there and a D instead. So
right.
Hypo is not the same as hydro.
And hydro refers to something without oxygen, and hypo is meaning there's one oxygen in the chlorine polyatomic ion.
Yes.
Okay, so this is chlorite. Its charge is -1, 2. I should have mixed these up a little bit. Hopefully the next one is different. So now we're going to have chlor, and then since it's ick, we're going to change it to os acid. Okay.
Phosphate.
Phosphate. So we have
a different charge, which is good.
Whoops. We have a PO4, and it's a -3 charge. So that means we're going to need
3 hydrogens.
3 hydrogens. So it's H3PO4. And then this one is going to be phos.
And then we have the ATE, so it has to be the ick ending
for ick
acid. See how important it is to know what your polyatomic ions are for naming these acids and changing it into acids. So hopefully you're almost familiar with all the polyatomic ions by now. Crossing our fingers.
Hopefully. Okay, so tomorrow we're going to be working on a worksheet practicing these all of class period. So
if you have any questions, make sure you ask us, and obviously we're going to keep going over it.
Right, and be ready for an open note quiz tomorrow at the beginning of class.
Yes.
Okay.
Study.
Bye.